Friday. I keep thinking it's Saturday. Wow. Okay. It's Friday. It's Friday, I'm in love. So today I'm gonna just share a little bit from my meditation, which is pretty much what I do every morning here. And I'm actually, I didn't find my stick first. So I'm just gonna grab one of these smaller guys because I'm realizing all of my larger pieces are really large. Hold on, maybe I do have a medium. Oh, I do. So, lots of you guys know I'm a fan of like sticks and rocks and all that. And a lot of you also know that I have like 9 screws in my left foot from a car accident. Me and my then best friend, he's now back with the blend, so he's not a human best friend anymore. But so I started using a stick for balancing because on this side I don't have any balance, you know, and a lot of times I don't practice standing yoga because it requires balance, and a lot of the way I like to move, it kind of requires your ankle to like move around and flex, and I love it for this side, but if I overdo it on this side, I end up being very limpy. So I want to talk a little bit about my stick and one of my favorite things to do with it. And I'm sharing for a couple reasons. I know I'm not the only girl who loves sticks, but I like this for opening my heart and stretching across my back. Ooh, be careful. So just doing this. And for me, when I first started yoga, oh my God, and all of like tuning into my body, my back was very much closed off. I was very much like this person, you know. By the time I found myself getting into yoga and wellness in an energy way, I was really closed down outside. I was kind of shut in everywhere. My whole inner world was rough. But now it is a place that I get to enjoy being, and it helps me enjoy being out here too. So it's like a true embodiment of as within, so without. When they say that, you feel it. What you're feeling keeps growing out. And I've been thinking about that this morning because I am about to go, you know, we're about to move, and part of me could be anxious, and I've done many transitions, especially moving. I've probably moved 50 times, maybe 40 times, definitely 30 times, but that's a lot of times. Okay, let's say 30. Because as a single person, it was just me and my dog. We moved around a lot. And even, you know, as a person, period. You know, I grew up in a house, and I was kind of a lucky person, I felt like, because everybody else around me had already had so many different houses as a child, and I had one house. So as soon as I got to a space where I was able to move out and move around, I kind of enjoyed moving around, you know. I liked making a new home wherever I was at, and it was always great, you know. So I can bring all of those knowings into my energy now. I can blend all of those times when things were great and easy and I was ready and I did it on purpose. And let this also be that. Let myself remind myself of how much going along this way I've had heads up from the universe, and I paid attention. I didn't ignore signs. I didn't ignore my intuition. I listened, and I got to hear stuff that I could have overlooked, and I could have been blindsided. And even in that point, I would have still been protected and supported. I just got to know it a little sooner. I got to get out ahead of things unfolding in a way that I have equal leverage, you know, energetically and in this manifestation. So I don't feel upside down. Even when things come out of the universe and it feels like, oh no, that's not what I meant. I felt like it was kind of like, you know how when a caterpillar goes into their cocoon, and that moment before they start breaking out of the cocoon, the butterfly is probably excited to stretch its wings, but there's probably also this moment of like, oh no, all this comfort and protection and support and I've loved this space. Like, nothing about me is mad or sad. Sad a little. But not about this space. But then I remember, like, times when I wasn't ready to shift because I do love where I am all the time. I love what I'm doing all the time now. There have been times when I was ready to shift and I'd feel hesitant. And then once it worked out, I was really appreciative. It makes me think about the time when a social media post kind of changed my life. And I know that this has happened to lots of us. But I was working at a wine bar and it was a slow night. And I was downstairs in the kitchen having some cheese and scrolling on TikTok or Facebook, I think. And I saw a post from a friend just doing this, leaning there like this. And she's like, hey, who wants to learn yoga this summer? I didn't have any money. I didn't have a babysitter. I didn't have a plan. But I said yes, I do. And I meant it. And in that moment, I knew that it was going to work out without any of those details in place. And I think I did hear this morning that got to come out that way because right before that, there was a great big shift in my personal relationship where I sort of demanded that I'm able to go to work. I demanded that I get some kind of self outside of being a mom and homekeeper, and that felt really hard. It felt really, felt like a mess. And I stayed there until I found yoga. And that worked so well. Oh God, guys, the money just appeared. Literally just appeared. People say that all the time. But it's true, it just appeared. And I didn't get it from my husband. For the record, ex-husband now. For the record, we never shared finances. I never shared a bank account with him. My dollars were earned through my daycare business and whatever other side work I was doing, because I've always been a doer. I love to work. And I think that's why work always loves me back, because when you love to do something, it's good for you, it loves you back, period. Energy returns the energy that it is offered continuously over and over again. And yeah, so I'm just gonna appreciate and know that. I'm gonna spend this whole day. We're gonna do one more normal house cleanup for the weekend and do our normal routine. And just love the shit out of this place a little bit more. I'm gonna spend every last day here loving it so much. And that means, even though I'm not doing it for this, that means where I'm going I get to love so much. It's gonna be such a great home for us. I had no idea this home could be here. I had no idea the space was here. I, again, listened to my intuition when I looked at this place. I had already applied for 2 other places. I didn't even know where this was. And as soon as I pulled around the corner, I started feeling the pull. As soon as I walked in the door, I put my hands on the wall. It was like a lizard with suction cups. I was like, mine, 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 mine. And I went outside, separated the car, did another application. And I think it wasn't 48 hours before it was approved. The Littles hadn't seen it. They had gone with me for the first 2 houses, and they were okay enough. But they were not in this house. They were not here. And even though this is shifting in a way that I could have never foreseen, I can still see how it's working out for me. And that is something that has taken a journey. You know, it's taken a learning through myself, and a soothing and a trusting and a listening and a going. And yeah, no matter wherever you are on this for yourself, listening and tuning in and loving and starting to trust your inner self, I'm telling you, it gets better. There are so many waves and ebbs and flows, and you get to learn how to control those parts too. You know, I talk a lot about how my life felt like one step forward, two steps back, and now it's like breathe and take more in, and then I stabilize and enjoy and thrive, and I breathe and take more in and go again. You know, there's no crashing, there aren't losses here. It's this and better, this and more. And if I hadn't gone through it myself, the way that I had maybe, in a way that I challenged every single part of it, I don't know if I'd have been able to appreciate it or get here. The nature of me was, I didn't do things easily. I'm okay with that. Like, I used to not enjoy the way that I learned, and it has turned around, you know, through homeschooling my kids and reparenting myself, that learning is like the juice of life for me. Next to like, well, I would say food, but my food role's been changing, because the more you grow, the more you know, and the more you know, the more you grow. And I love my body, and I'm going to be here like another 54 years. Oh, Guinea! So I want to take care of her. I want to feel this good as many days as I am here, and all the way up until I don't wake up again. So that means I can love myself even through food change. If you know me, you know some of the other things I've changed and how that might sound silly, but I love food. Oh God, it makes me think that I love corn song. All right, I'm gonna go get into the day. I have lots and lots of great things to do, but I'll be back soon. See you later, bye.